Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. I hope everything is good for you. It's pretty great here. I hope you had a good Mother's Day. Today I wanted to, did you see my video yesterday? I did a video about trying to use my drill press like a lathe. And I have never turned anything in my entire life, and so I put a bolt through a piece of wood and attempted to make a knob. And so that one of those things that I've been asked before is what tools don't I have that I wish I owned, and there really aren't many, if any. I've never wanted to own a lathe, and I still don't. This is just something I was like, I'm going to attempt to do this, but I really don't have a need or a purpose for a lathe. I don't do any kind of like fine woodworking, so it's just not something that's ever interested me. But I have had a tool that I've sorely missed recently, and that was for the chair project. So last couple of weeks I've told you that I've had a project that I couldn't really share with you because the person it was a gift for somebody, and that person watches the show sometimes and pays attention to my social media. So I shared some pictures, which I'll put on the screen here. These are a set of chairs that I made for my sister. Yesterday was Mother's Day. It was also her birthday. And I was at my parents', and we were talking about that she had just gotten a brand new deck off the side of her house, and she needed furniture, and I said, I could probably make her, a nice chair, and then that kind of snowballed, so Dad and I went and picked up a bunch of lumber and made these two chairs. And I searched online quite a bit for the design of those chairs and never found a design that I liked or that really was what I had in mind, so I took some elements of other designs and designed those chairs myself. That's completely my design. I drew them up in 3D Fusion 360 and then sketched them out. Actually, I think that's my original sketch. It's pretty useless as a sketch unless you're me. But the idea was that I think I showed you the leg frames. The leg frames are simply 2x4s that are half-lapped. And what a half-lap means is if you were to take two pieces of wood like this and put them together like such, and just put some screws through it, then any rotational force or load that's applied to these boards it's all held by those screws. So the idea of a half-lap is you would take this board, and the width of this board you would make your mark, and the width of this board you would make a mark, and you would remove half of this material and half of this material so the two pieces go together, and now they are, instead of being twice as wide, they are the same width because half of them has been cut away, so it's a half lap. And it's much, much stronger because now the screws are only holding the boards together this direction. The cut away portion down here is keeping this one from rotating, so it makes the chairs way stronger. And I had to do those half laps by hand. I do not have a dado stack for my table saw, so what I was doing was cutting a bunch of slits and then using a hammer and chisel to chisel these things out. I've got some pictures of that here, and that was hours and hours and hours of work. Not only did I have to do 4 half laps on each leg frame, so 16 half laps there, I also had the seat back set at an angle of 115 degrees, and I made myself a little square. I think I posted this on Instagram so that I could rest my board on here and run my saw at 115 degrees. So same half lap but rotated, which means I couldn't use the table saw for that because my table saw it's not up for the task. So I did these with this 115 degree square I made and a circular saw, and zip, 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 and then hammered and chiseled and hammered and chiseled. So I had 4 of those to do. So 20 half laps in all to put those chairs together, and all done with hammer and chisel because I don't own a dado stack. Now, a dado stack is simply if you have a saw blade, and this is your saw blade, if you want to cut something that's wider than this quickly, you basically have a tool called a dado stack that stacks a number of blades. You can put blade chipper, whatever. You can cut very wide cuts with one pass. And my table saw wouldn't hold a dado blade, but one thing I've been thinking about getting is a radial arm saw. So that is the one tool. I look around the shop, I would love to have a new table saw that is more reliable, one that I trust. I don't trust that one, but that one works. It made those chairs just fine. For what I need, the limited amount of ripping that I need, it works fine for that. But that radial arm saw is essentially a saw that it looks like a circular saw, and it's on a sliding arm. So it slides like this, perfectly level. It doesn't do this sort of thing. And so the idea would be, boards down here, I just go zip, 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 and I don't have to sit there with my chisel and hammer and wear myself out beating things to death. So even though I showed you this project and I said, I don't own a lathe, I'm going to try do this. A lathe it's never been on my shopping list and probably never will be, but a radial arm saw and a dado stack, yeah, I definitely would like to make some more. In fact, I already need to make some more of these chairs. My uncle ordered a set, and I have to make another set for my mother, so I got to do 2 more sets of these chairs, and it would be so much nicer to have a dado stack and a proper saw for making half labs instead of beating myself. Because it took me, the first chair that we made, we spent a Saturday on it, the whole Saturday. It took me 8 hours of work to finish the chair. Now, granted, some of that was planning, because though I had the sketch, I still had to kind of adjust on the fly. But, it worked out. So I think the next set that I build, I have a much larger window. This was like a 10-day window or something to make those. This next one, I've got like 5-6 weeks to do them. So I probably will film the making of these, and I'll probably make plans available if anybody's interested in that sort of thing. But hopefully between now and then I can figure out how to get a dado stack. A friend has a radial arm saw that I can get off of him. The base needs rebuilt, but that shouldn't be too big of a deal. So hopefully the next time I build them, it'll go much smoother. But, it was fun. It was a fun build. I really did enjoy making them. In fact, I think the thing I enjoyed most was spending time with my dad. He was here pretty much the entire time I worked on them. And just spending time with him and talking story and shop and stuff is really fun. So, yeah, that's the project. Now you know. Now you know what tools I'm missing. Do you have any tools that you wished you owned but you don't? Let me know in the comments below. And if somebody has tools that they could offer up, put that in the comments below too. And maybe there can be some sort of tool swap going on. I don't know. But thank you guys as always for being here. Thank you for watching and liking and commenting and subscribing and being amazing friends. I will see you tomorrow.
Hey Doc, wait! I want to ask you something.
Today's random fact comes from Wikipedia. Why do you vote on Tuesday? In 1845, the United States was largely an agrarian society. Farmers often needed a full day to travel by horse-drawn vehicles to the county seat to vote. Tuesday was established as an election day because it did not interfere with the biblical Sabbath or with market day, which was on Wednesday in many towns. But so if they travel, then they had to travel back. How did they get back for market day?